Hi everyone, Rain Turner again, personal empowerment coach and mentor. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about fear today, because I know for so many people, fear is possibly the biggest block that they have. Fear about being accountable to themselves. Fear about taking stock of how their life is looking. Fear about what's going to happen in the future. Fear about repeating their past. Fear about not living their life to the fullest. Fear about their retirement. Fear about their children. Fear about the economy. Fear about their job. Fear is everywhere. And of course, you know, there is that saying, fear is just false evidence appearing real. And for so many people, most of the things that they fear don't actually ever happen. It's just something they project in their own minds. So, what is it that you're fearful of? Good question. And maybe for you, a time to take stock and say, well, what is it that I fear the most? You know? Do I fear that others will judge me? Do I fear that when I really find out who I am, I won't like myself? What is it that you're fearing? Because fear is really just stepping outside your comfort zone. Stepping outside your comfort zone is one of the most courageous things you can ever do. And one of the things that I suggest for people who are living in this kind of fear is to really look at their life. Go into their life and look at all of the things that they've overcome. Look at all the challenges you've had in your life. Look at the fear that you may have had around them when you first started them. Look at the fear that wasn't evident when you were a child, when you first learnt to walk, when you first took your first adventures as a toddler. There was no fear at all. None. How many times as a toddler did you fall over? How many times did you get up and do it again? Because you had no fear. Fear had not been instilled. Fear is something that is created by the masses to keep us small, to keep us in our box, to keep us intact. But fear is something that we create ourselves because it isn't real. It's just a level of uncomfort that we are conscious about and that we project into a situation to hold us stuck. So, what is it that you're fearful about? Going to leave you a little couple of seconds here to think about. Right now, what are you fearful about? I'm fearful at the moment that I'm here doing this lovely interview and a plane might fly over, or the man next door might start his lawnmower, because that would be really upsetting. But I know that the plane's not going to be a big deal, and the man's already mowed his lawn, so he's already done that today, so that's not going to happen. But what are you fearful about? How is it impacting your life? I meet people every day who are fearful of going out into the street and meeting other people. They're fearful of being judged by what they wear. They're fearful of what other people think of them. And my first response to that is, what other people think of you is actually none of your business. Other people's judgments of you come from their own level of self-worth. And if they're judging you on a negative perspective, it's because they disapprove and judge themselves. And they look at what you're doing that they think is unworthy or is judgeable, and they think, gosh, I could never do that, or how silly would I be if I was to do that? So they're judging you from their perspective, excuse me. So what is it you're fearful of? Fear is the biggest perpetrator of distraction. It's the biggest problem that we have in society today. Fear of being ourselves. Fear of stepping out. Fear of stepping up. Fear of being who we truly are. What is it you're fearful of? I'll tell you a story. Many, many years ago, I got to a stage in my life where I decided that I did not want to colour my hair anymore. I'd been colouring my hair for a long time. And so one day, I got lots and lots of courage, and I decided that I was sick of colouring my hair because I was having to do it every 4 to 6 weeks. And you guys out there who are listening to this probably won't think this is, won't resonate with this, but the women will. And I realised I was colouring my hair because it was going this lovely shade it is right now. And I decided that for me, I really needed to stop it. I felt a fraud, and I knew that the dyes that I was putting on my hair were actually getting into my body and weren't serving me very well in terms of my health. So I decided that I wanted to change, and I wanted to be more authentic. So for me, it was about going to the hairdresser and saying, okay, I need to cut my hair off. So I had my hair down to my shoulders, and it was dark because I'm naturally quite dark. And so I said to the hairdresser, can you please give me like a number 4 haircut and just shave all my hair off so that I can just grow it from scratch with its my natural colour? And she said, no, I can't do that. And I said, why not? She said, because it will shock you too much. And I said, okay, what can you do? And she said, we'll cut it in stages. We'll cut it off a little bit at a time. And when you get to a stage where you're happy, that's when we'll stop. So that's what we did. And I have to admit, she was absolutely gorgeous, this lady. She brought out a glass of champagne for me. I had my friend there, and we sat there and we drank our champagne while she cut my hair. And it ended up being shorter than it is now. It ended up being probably about 1 inch long all over. She cut my hair 1 inch long all over. So I had the silver that was coming through, which was about half an inch or a centimetre coming through already, and I had these dark ends on it. And I went away happy, but I'd had a glass of wine by that stage, so I went away very happy, and my hair was very, very short. It was actually quite a shock, as she said it was going to be a shock. And I waited for, I think it was about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I went back and she cut it again. And in that stage, in that 7-week process, I went from being shoulder length, dark brown hair to this, but much shorter than this, all over. And it was probably the most fearful I've been in a long, long time. How would it look? How would I feel? How would people react? But I thought, okay, I need to do this to be authentic. I need to step inside who I truly am and be me. And it was, I have to say, the most empowering thing I've ever done on many levels. It created for me a sense of my true self. It created a sense of feeling comfortable in my skin. It changed my skin a lot. It changed the puffiness in my face a lot. And I got so many positive comments about how fabulous it looked. It really, really amazed me. And the only derogatory comments I got from it were from women who dye their hair, which was no surprise, because the judgment was all about them dyeing their hair and me having the courage to not dye my hair. So it was quite amazing. So sometimes, having the courage to do things and change yourself and look at who you are and look at who you want to be, being authentic is a big, big deal. But it's only one step at a time. The thing about hair is that if I'd been really uncomfortable with it after a little time, I could have, of course, dyed my hair again. There are always ways to change what you've done if you don't like it. But trust me, when you take control, when you take your power back, when you finally step out of the fear, you will so be humming. There is no way you will ever want to go back to being that fearful you. So, have a totally fearless day. Enjoy it. The sun is shining. The cicadas are chirping. It's absolutely glorious. Knock it dead. Catch you next time.